Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I'm your host, Mary Ellen. This is an episode of Craft With Me / Watercolor Wednesday, where I am making a replacement book for, hang on, this, because this is the watercolor book that I have finished. Look at us. So we need a new book. And previous episode, what did we do previous episode? Previous episode, we did this, which has now been in the book press for a while, so it's nice and flat, nice and glued. These are our covers. So I decided to go super nice with this book because I might as well make a really nice book for myself. Why not? You can make junk journals, you can make whatever you want. So, these are, what are these? These are silkworm cocoons, which might be some of my decoration. And so, why? Because they might go from a color perspective. Or not, we're not sure. We also have this thread, which also might go from a color perspective. This is Steph Francis Perlay 8, color P8-19. P8 must be Perlay 8, color 19. And I thought that went really well. And so Steph Francis is an indie thread dyer, embroidery thread dyer from the UK. I have little pockets of really yummy stuff in my studio. This paper being one, this thread being another. And it's like, well, we're going to use it on this book. Okay, so recall the pages that we'd folded up. So I will show you here. So these are all the pages that we had folded up, and we put that in the book press as well to give the edges a nice fold. Now, because I'm going to do this kind of spine, again, because this allows the pages to lay quite flat, there is a different methodology to sewing it. You can see this isn't the normal pamphlet stitch. So the first thing you do is you get the book in the alignment that you want, and then you need to saw or cut notches. Wow. You need to do them in an order, and then you need to keep that order, because you can see that this isn't perfectly square, so you can't have this one going that way, so on and so forth. So the sewing of it needs to take a little bit of time. You need to be calm and controlled when you go ahead and do this. What's the other thing I need? Oh, my book. My book. So this is the book that I am using, which is a book called Cover to Cover: Creative Techniques for Making Beautiful Books, Journals, and Albums. And so this is essentially about binding. It's by Shireen LaPlante, Lark Books, year 2000. And so, bookmark. This is what I am going to be doing. These pages here, what is it called? It is called a basic codex. Okay. Yes, a codex. So, And what do I want to do? Okay, so so the start of anything, it's kind of like casting on. I'm looking at the method for casting on. I think I can get the middle part, not a problem, but the casting on to me is hard. And so this is what I did here. So we're just going to kind of wing it. But when we get to the middle part, we'll be fine, I believe. So I don't want to undo this yet, because once I do, I want to be in a place to be actually doing some sewing. So this is my thread, and we're going to need, I think, a fair amount, and I'm going to need a needle. Yeah, that one will work. That one will work. So how many signatures do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So at the smallest part, I will need, this is essentially going to be looped around through the fold, looped around through the fold, looped around through the fold into the next signature. So that's sort of like 1. And let's give us a little bit of scooch room. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3, and then we need 4 of these. 3, that becomes 6. This becomes 12. And then we need some spare, because I don't trust anything. We will have lots left over. I believe that. While I believe it, I want to not tempt ye old faith. So this is, how much is it? Just for grins. 1, 2, 3, so that's 1 yard. It's about 3 yards of fiber. Where's my needle? Here's my needle. Okay, so we're gonna get started on this. I'm mildly terrified, but we'll see what we get. We always do. We're always figuring this out together. Okay, this, for the first while, this is going to be a lot of pulling extra thread through, but it should be fine. So the book said, what did the book say? Okay, all right. Book said, another way of keeping this in order is, and I'm not going to do it because I believe in my ability to keep things under control, is make a small, actually, let's do that. So that's just going to let us know that that's the top of the book. And then we are going to use this 1 by 1. I'm going to take this off. So if I turn this around accidentally, I can always find, oh, the top is the line. Okay, take one off. So far, so good. And I think we do this on the outside. So one of the things that I did when making these marks is I didn't have the right saw. I had the saw blades, but I didn't have the saw. So I used raw saw blades to make this work, which does not make a great cut. Would not recommend. Okay. And I could have gone to Canadian Tire because more than just Tire is a Canadian Tire. But I was way too impatient because I wanted to get going. I want to get going. Oh, I've got this needle way out off. Okay, so that's the first one. This is sort of our leading tail that can give us a bit of a knot. There. Okay. Then we take the second signature and we're gonna kind of weave. So I am gonna go straight into the next one, I do believe. Sort of. There. And we can go slowly. We don't have to go fast. And that comment is for me. But if you find it useful, feel free to use that advice. So we've jumped from this signature to that signature. And now we're on the second. So we're just going to go. I'm going to make all these marks because I probably didn't do it well. We're going to go up. Then we were in trouble, technically speaking. Well, more than one way we are in trouble. It's okay. Take your time. Pardon my fat head. Okay, I feel like I'm pulling that tighter. Is that better? That's better. Okay, so this is our first row. We went down, up, down, up. Then we went across to link the next one. And we have some choices to make in terms of how do we want to attach this to that. And I think that I need to check, what does the book say? Look at us looking it up. So we're at figure 6. Oh, okay. All right. So for this one time only, I think we do this. And I think that's part of the setup process. Please don't catch it. for the moment. Can I just pull? There. Pull. There. Are we all tight? Tightish? Directionally tight? Oh. We're going to go back down. Just across to the other one. Ah, okay. I bet you anything we make a knot now. Yeah, we do. We can make a knot. Oops. It's not perfect, doesn't need to be. Okay. Look at us, practically done. So this is the top. Which is the top? That's the top. Okay. Now we're on this side. And we need that one. Okay. Yep. Now we get to the fun part, I think. I could have done this with some beeswax too. There. Okay. So we're through there, and we need to come back up. And this is where a chain stitch sort of looks like it happens. And that is, we're going to go through there. So there is the jump from here to here has a space. And we are going to use that space. We're not going to sew into any paper. We're just going to connect with that jump space. Like that. And then we're going to go back in. Did I open the right one? I did. Did I go in the right one? Yeah, I did. There we are. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. And so then we are going to go out. This rhythm will show up eventually. Go out. There we are. And the way we're going to attach it to the previous one is there is that jump space, and we're just going to knock the thread underneath, and it's essentially, it's like a chain stitch. We've connected it, but it's still, there's flexibility. Okay, easy, easy. What are we doing here? Go slowly. Okay. Out another one. I'm going to do another jump between the two. There we are. Get that nice and tight. Where's our top? There's our top. We're good. Let's do it on the side. Okay. Now let's take a break because that was a lot. We're 25% done though. The next part. She says with incredible misplaced confidence, should go quickly. Okay, so we've got tops up here, tops up there. And the next thing I want to do is go down. Oh, no. Next thing I want to do is poke, poke, poke. Come on. Here. Got that. I'm going to tighten it in a minute. Go through there. And we're going to once again go through that little space that was created. And bring it up. Okay, maybe we can open it. A curved needle would be super for this application. Oh, and I know why I can't open it. I can't open it because I got a paper clip in there. There we are. Okay. And we're going to go down. Careful. Go slowly. This would be a great, see what that loop looks like? That's what makes that sort of a visible kind of chain stitch. So it has come out here and I've looped it around the strings of the previous signature. And that's essentially what we are doing all the way along. So there's nothing new now, I don't think. Again, with that shocking confidence. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. There. So you see you've got a loop. And we're going to go down. And we're going to come up. down and up. Then we are going to just tighten up our little loopies. That's one. That's two. And that's three. There we are. We're just rolling along. Okay. Put that back. So we're one more signature goes from 25% to 33 1/3. So that's the top. That's the top. We're looking at the bottom. Next thing we need to do is this. Had I done a more refined sawing method with this would have gone all the way through and I wouldn't have needed to repoke it. But like I said, I was not using the full, I was just using a saw blade and not the actual saw. Which sort of sounds weird when I say it. So you know how you have saws with the blades that can be exchanged? That's the kind of saw that I wanted. And you need a fine saw, not something that can hack down the back 40. There. Oops. This could be considered a tedious process, and for all of us that have learned how to sew in a pamphlet stitch journal, it is, we have all of the skills already. So there's literally nothing new. It is just how we are applying the stitches. That. So there, just another way to do the loop. You don't have. Oops, ooh, that sounded fun. If you don't have a curved needle, which I don't. I think this method is really well suited for watercolor paper. Because I think you do kind of want to have the watercolor paper to be able to lie flat. And it's going to take you it's going to take me a while to use this much watercolor paper. There, okay. And we've got another one. Did we start at that end? Yes, we did. Just pull that in. pull that in, pull that in, and are we good? We're good. Okay. Next one, where's the top? That's the top. Yep, that's the top, okay. Those little pencil marks are invaluable. Come on, you can do it, you can do it! And I'm using this to push the needle down so that it pops up on this end and I can, well, I say I can grab it. There. Yep, good. Okay. We're trucking along. That's the top. This is the top. Check, check, double check. Go in there. We're gonna go in there. So again, it's between the two signature areas. And we're just gonna loop behind. Okay, make up your mind. Here we are. And it's kind of like crocheting. Or knitting. Oh, Jibashna. All right, slow down. There we are, good job. Still good. Going up. momentarily. The end one seems to be easy because you can get at that edge. There. Oh dear. Did we? No, we didn't. Oh, look at us. There we are. This is the top. What are we at for time? Oh, 37 minutes. That's not bad. Just giving me a little more length there. Ooh. Ah, past halfway. I love being on the back nine. Okay, this is the top. That's the top. We're all good. Insy binsy. Bouncy bouncy. So in, out, chain stitch, or chain loop, back in. Then you go over, and you go back out. You go slowly enough to make sure that your threads don't do weird things. So you're out, and now you're doing a chain stitch. And then you're going back in. Oops. And you're going back out. You are going back out. There we are. You're doing another loop. You finish that part, and then you go back, and then you do a little bit of tightening. Take this off. A little bit of tightening, a little bit of tightening, a little bit of tightening. There we are. That's looking clean and sweet. There we are. Just gonna blow my nose. We're gonna have a little tea. And we're gonna keep going. Okay, so this is the top, yeah, top. Next one, that's the top, because I haven't moved that block. Kane moved it. Okay, so top and top, boop, 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 boop. There we are, okay. So we're going in, going over and up. And when we're out, we do that little chain, the chain loop. Come on. Oh. Come on. Back in. Over. Back out. We're going, doing the chain. Nope. Go slowly. Back down. If you wanted to practice this, my recommendation would be to use some stiff paper, like watercolor paper, and don't start with 12. Start with, I don't know, maybe something more than 2, like maybe 6. Do it by half. Because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You're trying to figure things out. So it's always fair and appropriate to be doing practice bits. Not wait until you're doing something that's the most precious thing to you and then it's like, okay, high wire. High wire, no net. There is literal health and safety top 5. There is no need to do that. None of us are flying Walendas. What did I just do? Everything was fine. So let's back up. So what have I done? I've looped, but I don't want this underneath. Do I loop it back out? Oh, I know, I didn't need to loop it in. There's your problem. That's what happens when you start talking. There, okay. There, okay. Bottom, top. But do practice it if you're going to use it in a real life situation. I don't know who it is. It might be a Buddhist saying that says that suffering is optional. And this would be a great example of a potential area for suffering and it literally being optional. You can practice first. Or you can say, I understand this from a skill set perspective. I am good to go. Ooh, we're getting close to the end here. The end of the thread, I mean. And also for any of you fiber people out there who, well, fiber or anybody who sews, we are currently entering the what do we call it? Thread chicken phase. I believe that I gave myself enough room. Did I bring all of that through? Yeah, I did. Okay. Come on. Okay. You probably could, if you were so inclined and capable of being able to just bind it this tight without having to do that secondary step. I am not that person, and it's okay to separate it in just 2 sorry. Did I finish my thought? If you, yeah, to disaggregate the two steps. One is the sewing step. The second is the putting it all together step. Oh. The other way of determining the top from the bottom here, or to be able to orient which way is which, is to figure out where your leading thread is. Or your trailing thread. There. Through there. This might be super hard on hands that are find sewing and highly dexterous work, because this is literally sewing a book together in a way different than the pamphlet stitch. Okay, so we're getting there, There. Pull that out like that. Okay. Now then, I'm just gonna have a booey boo. How would I end that? Let's have a look. Oh, you just tie it off. Okay. Well, I didn't expect it to be that, that's what I would have done had I not looked. Okay. And there's the top. Goes this way. Woohoo, we're all kind of squirrely now. Yep. Super exciting. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. Plenty of thread. Okay, and it basically just says tie it off. I'm going to bring this thread back to here and then tie it off there. And I'm just doing sort of like baby knots as I go, and I'm doing every second one, or at least I'm trying to. Because this, as you know, will be used under extreme conditions of no extreme conditions whatsoever. But it's like you gotta tie them. We are all very careful about making sure that things do not come apart. And I think that we are to be commended for our diligence in this regard. Oh, look at that. And then, Kanadi Kanat 1 and Kanadi Kanat 2. Is that right? No. Come on, you do it. 1, 2. Bob is your literal uncle. Look at that. We sewed a block book together. We can do that. This is going to go in here. Okay. Okay, let's just Camden. Put some of this away, and then we can get like super excited and flip out. Put that away. Put that away. Have a sip of tea. And that if we wanted to. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to care. And that is how that's all going to be. Beautifully flat. Absolute gorge. So we're nearly there. I always say that. So this then is going to be glued like that. And then that is going to be the opening page. And that is going to be glued there. And that is going to be the closing page. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. So this thread is the beginning. That's the only piece where you need to do that one thing. And then you just keep going for as long as you want. So I'm going to glue this, I think, off camera because we're nearly, you know what? I can at least glue the threads. Get them started. Because this will tell me which is the front and which is the back. I can tell. There are all these small little signs. Oh, we are so getting close to the end of this. Oh, here we are. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. Okay, maybe I will do this page. Because we do have time. Yep, we're doing the page. So because everything is the same size, this should cover up really, really well. Oops. Okay. Make sure this is right side up. It is. That is right side up. And then we just do that and that. Then we have that as, I'm so excited. All right, flip you over, do the other side, you betcha. And we may be able to finish the bottle. Wow, that's far too much excitement for one video. Finishing glue bottles, finishing posh books. Again, we don't need quite so much glue. There. That's going to go like that. That's going to go that way. And I'm just going to make sure that that matches that. It does. Bada boom, bata binga. Ha 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 ha. Look at us. We made a frickin' book. Yeah, so I do need to just let this sit and breathe under something that's got some weight to it. And this is going to have the same opening as the other one did. And that, I think, is for now. Yeah, we do need to get, yeah, because it wants to come apart. And that is then the sewing of the watercolor book. I might do these, or I might not. I might keep it clean, we're not sure. I'd like to, I think, just so that I can keep a record of what is top and what is bottom. But there we are. That is, what did I call it? I've got to figure out what the name is, just in case. Codex, a basic codex. A codex book, I think. There. Anyways, that is all for now. Hope you enjoyed that. Please take very good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Always love you lots, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.